The Tax Practitioners Board, commonly referred to as the TPB, is the national body responsible for the registration and regulation of tax practitioners. The tax practitioners that fall under the umbrella of the TPB are tax agents, BAS agents. One of the TPB's responsibilities is ensuring compliance with its Code of Professional Conduct. Tax practitioners must abide by the TPB Code as a condition of maintaining their registration. However, the application of its principles potentially differs for each of the types of tax practitioners. The TPB Code contains 14 principles that fall under 5 broad categories: honesty and integrity, independence, confidentiality, competence, and other responsibilities. There is significant overlap between these categories under the TPB Code and the fundamental principles of APES 110 Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants. Honesty and integrity is a close match with the APES principle of integrity. Independence does not have an exact equivalent with the APES principles, but broadly aligns with the APES requirement of objectivity. Confidentiality matches up with the same APES principle. Competence aligns with the APES duty of professional competence and due care. Other responsibilities refers to some specific duties and so is more targeted than the APES principle of professional behaviour. Let's look a bit more broadly at each of these 5 categories in the TPB Code. Honesty and integrity includes not only the practitioner's conduct concerning dealings with their client, but also applies to the practitioner acting with integrity regarding their own personal tax affairs. Independence refers to acting in the client's best interests and avoiding any potential conflicts. Confidentiality means that the practitioner must not disclose any information relating to the client's affairs without permission, unless there is a legal duty to do so. Competence broadly means that the practitioner must adequately maintain their skills and take reasonable care with the client's affairs. Other responsibilities include not obstructing the administration of tax laws. For instance, a tax practitioner should not obstruct the ATO in their conduct of a client's tax audit. These other responsibilities also include advising the client of their rights and obligations under the law, maintaining professional indemnity insurance, and responding to any requests and directions from the TPB in a timely manner. There is much overlap between the TPB Code and the relevant provisions in the Corporations Act that apply to financial services licensees and their representatives. In addition, financial advisors must comply with the FASIA Code of Ethics. The relevant provisions of the FASIA Code also substantially overlap with the TPB Code. Due to the overlap between these 3 sets of requirements, compliance with one will often result with compliance with the other 2 sets of requirements. For instance, acting in the best interest of a client is common to all 3 sets of rules. They all require that in most instances, the interests of the client are given priority above their interests. To recap, the Tax Practitioners Board's Code of Professional Conduct applies to tax practitioners. The TPB Code has 14 principles across 5 categories, being honesty and integrity, independence, confidentiality, competence, and other responsibilities. For professional accountants and tax financial advisors, there is substantial overlap between the TPB Code and other codes. Given the overlap, compliance with one code often ensures compliance with the other codes, although tax practitioners must remain vigilant to ensure that they are compliant across all their registrations.